before like me when my food like without get itself done. Almost like we different ones get like I like to like the work of it after the itself might have been like the group that simple stuff and so then like thinking back might have been like the but need my friends and that so one of like the leaders of like the group might have most likely use some sort of like a problematic mind control that might have been what might have happened with the face and this might be the maybe how that I want to like make me first and make me turn into from the but yeah might have been like the case so like what might have happened with the game very much the game is been like so that and you know that will have the clear of like that is might have been since then control say that is what the way to like support the sustainable way. So firstly I'm looking that there are actually might be in that can use but like it might be due to that most likely there are thinking much like the money more of like that other state laughing there that like there are maybe doing it and maybe the same problem is that like that will fix that there of sentiment it might have this mind controlling channel to most likely concentrate mind control might have been like the case with the brain. So certainly and considering that the brain might be like the brain like the council member of the brain might be like access like conducted will take will take year might be having bunch of laptops and Unix manager with that one part of Unix manager you might have most likely created like a clone of that of like Zelda, and that way it might have like created this like for the identity of that Zelda way might have been what might have and to that might have been what might have happened to this and the name critical mass recognition of for like using like the harmful channels especially to that still and thing harmful might be and might be attempting to naturally revive that so you can stick with that the might be like it is the famous friends for that the item with like the kind of with like the half that still doesn't give it to this update and then getting revived and is that within the scenario that I'm the president and but that is when the friend from in like the lecture website might have been saying that stop and can down like up and things like a rebellion that like from the mention like the thing there might have mind control that might have been what might have happened to the brain definitely from the point that way like Jalal once like one friend from like eventually after then being would be looking for there are going at that point for like Jalal through like with Jalal's like stealthy school and after like stealthy mind control like and what it totally using Jalad to lack of the coverage or like the morale of that Tantra and team. And that represent that resulting in from that point on that look at them starting to like get more sort by the that to the and basically eventually like once again they're getting captured and what the like doctor that really about to that funny. Like, so what was like that that's again is when I'm like when I might have been when like Nakaro might have so and paint or my different for like that like when I out finish like the vision side might have been out I don't have to like about what it does. It will the believe with them the thing right now that it might be like the wife of like the ancient was under that like this like sort of that's like is the it was so like might be the best or might be certainly like the creative so definitely I'm just putting laptop right now asking like Jalal to that reason to allow her to that Jalal like with an art that so like at that point I'm programming like that get it like most likely providing Jalal such like free up in exchange for like allowing to for like scenario that I'm doing that way Jalal so basically and this is that how come to that Jalal that way might have for by like that woman did might have been what might have happened was about the thing that was the and another for you and the plane so in lecture like still there are even though the person like still trying to that spirit that out might be definitely used to by the control of that female spirit for that to that using like that system for to like revive something like the ancient of which who might be Zeref especially might be famous. So like that they would bring some attack through Jala to end up becoming a design that Zeref getting revived through like our system that is enough and I'm going to be that's great. So like that way according to my Miriam the temple and the case now to be that for like Zeref to in that the person for like Zeref who would be get revived who let the now seven then at that point once like Zeref also would be feeling like at that point the different like the Zealand competent turned out even black instantly disappearing as like now that was on point and from such a manner like like Zealand's black friends that probably finding out that it's not that to Zealand and it was like no Zealand. According to my education, might be that the case that was and the name is like don't like sort of to be appearing and showing up at that at that point, I'm about to find land sort of straight away, teleporting and showing up at like the location of like Taba, in front of like all the council members and the range like you know that about to go the prayer. And that also enables like that was subjects to like happen where like such a conversation that Gerald the secretary Gerald himself. It's like about to get that in this role of the thing. So and that day like I'm looking that I want to like that will be showing up like I'm looking that along with like sort of Santon segment as well. One of like the function of that female spirit like a different that federation along with like the that extending anybody together just like they would tonight that I'm doing with today. Yes, so that like we might be right now that like just through separate and that what might be like the long like federated might be general uh, but like the current present even to the extent that I don't think the will take the government like what sort of that it's like sort of it's going to be like a woman that and producing what sort of might be trying to like that person that second and the other might be trying to like revive might be sort of that constant which might be even more actually more powerful than some might be that it is like the makers they have might have had like from like the ancient past who might be and even more powerful and so that might be like the living correctly. So like a different thing to like get and realize through like the present day towers coming it's like 7% out so right. So like personally when right now it's like the person of grandpa of the like that might be that exact of who might have been I think that it's very rare to happen that with macro as well as like one of like the continent of course you I think like you three one of like an the big remember and friend of like macro that them in like the past talking about like missing home might be that or might be the exact grandfather, might be like the case as a like a problematic that today right now. But like the wise out that understand that move either it might have been move that grandpa Rob that when he was like very different like about might have told macro and that might be how like that might have been like move that macro used again again, that the kind of their profile might be that's the case with the blade and brain. That might have is affecting with the blade of brain. So yes, so that was made by the real function right now. But new for like the core grandpa of get taken out of the different than grandpa of telling us about like the matter of and like the very day skills of like the and so will be that grandpa of finding towards the might be to definitely succeeding like escaping from like the system and basically on a scale that technically find like the periods would and find matter maybe along the line of like the last words of like and power of might have the who might have carry on the right now. So it's like the one my different from the different form like the either something like I can through the system most likely planning on like attempting to like revive aspects from the tension or like a different actor might be attempting to revive all females that which I think is related back to the past. The having multiple past routines like to revive all those being simultaneously together through that the system. So not like revive all let's say even but like together might be more like that process might be planning not that it improve the graphic coming other property can yeah, the right thing. Yes, the line of made another thing. So right now it's for like in the laboratory of like a front to lab. We are refused to lab the half and provide the of like certain enough that in the delivery and really at that point I'm both things that preserve within Jalal at that point attempting to like take out the stuff that was not available. So like at that point I was like trying to like stop that incoming move by attempting to go from music to language now that it was but like that attempt of that being like completely different when it comes to like or when it's bigger difference of like that's going to like the spirit like going through like Jalal at that point is like written out of that so like that way I'm when like Jalal at that point about to like take out again and that your last second is when I was exactly maybe not about showing up and I was like the very like showing up and which might have been four times in a day might have been like not only like and at that point might have been frantically something for like whereabouts of like what after that or might have been captured by this like dark spirit. Uh, it might have been like the case, like something that is visible, right? So definitely I'm trying to be only at that point that like macro finally finding and on the competitors we finally finding being able to like find like the succeeding in like finding that where about like and by the time they will be going up to like the like from the getting of like the half like and the that that will be finding some like scenario that will be the of that that are like about to like take out some like this scenario that I'm doing that way I'm going to be through macro that in the fear of planet that to get saved from Gerald, made our way from Gerald that literally might take the data. So, and even at that point, maybe like the sort of spirit, the power that might have been able to like, provide for like Gerald might have not been adore a max for like the macro that city that might have been that create patterns that made us redemption because like in like the spirit and process of like jump like and the from the benefit there are there are things that's account might be next thing it might be only be able to like you can be a small kind of fraction of like the full level of strength of like that might be like that specification especially not so that way like that might be a bit extremely frustrated about like basically not doing they might have been so the straight to like so much to be able to like, complete like the our seven so that like the like come back in that form and basically so that like only process away you might be able to like get access to like the powers of like trainers of all the stuff might be the case the minimum thing because then this might be the case like hospital and everything and that way like I'm consolidating like my focus back in like story like a song might have got say might have been one of the patterns of leaders that way some might have straight away like like joint like matter of connected it while second I mean like I might have at that point second the might have managed to like why not like the friends and they might have gotten them to like those four of like the freedom and they see that way then the friends alone might have except for some might have joined second and like and that way that act of the joining that offering heritage will at that point in fact that it might have been born like someone that might have seen that but have you pretend might have been wanted that having like what to do that in the that's the like very assumption right now that is the might have going like the period is still up to like a stepping from like the process in like the things that might have been what might have happened if you know it might have been that it might have been due to that the many speech of like about the like moving so much that they have done and like an of being like stated in still like the from like some related to that fact like that some might have like sub for and found like the period when my dog only the president my dog in coordinated having definitely not framed and again the term so when that in like the past 10 years my dog remembered that my dog had like the way of that the awareness of that how being going through like a process of being by the while at the same time that my dog very also family bonded to that to the exactly like how grandpa and how not like some might have also the spread and might have the friendly wanted to like to do but like some might have not been able to for like 10 years like the past 10 years during the process and some might have definitely don't be able to actually learn. And like my son went to the person that not entirely of the last 10 years in which laptop I might have been serving number like macro from the databases from right now more junior in that kind of the team to might have not been able to actually in that the database and leave in that macro. So that once the man can remember the same thing like in the field like just past 10 years on the work to do without making a delay something about to the index of the that is in that the power events that I'm looking in that that's what we find what we once again believe in infrastructure, believing in like the better days and would be absolutely everything to stop like the after step it's like feeling of the that I'm looking over it and the reality there. And that way like I'm so right now I'm not like being more close about the way of that and so to be that how you paving like the way for like the start to like actually succeed in like stopping like the after is that thing is another very much right now. So due to that finally after all this great 10 years like it finally believing that that's why for a long like everything in plan and that's how believing in our friends like that and one of them that and working together like that for a long like it was something in that the art system is finally doing so the stuff is like the scenario that about the thing and my thought yet like I'm the different the art system being stopped and still not mainly prevent lack the religious structure of lack the perspective in the scenario that I'm disciplined. So like I'm different even right now the different person is like set out of it to eventually get destroyed the step of the now that I'm different. But still I'm not different eventually like things that are not different to some other method like in the different like um that we are able to try for like separate necessarily coming up with some other method like whether within like separate that coming up with like some finding some sort of like another method to that the by the of like to narrate that and so in that way I just research through that and then and eventually like the results getting revived there's like thing that scenario that I'm being handled today just right now. I'm still recommending them because I like separate and then I might have said these hopefully might out of all the box right for like once like the stereo number with the left of the stereo that is being sent to towards like the location of like the power side. And that point I'm just like the power is like converting like the intensity of like the beam into into the steering up company up like the process of actuation of like the power like the realistic scenario that I'm looking at I mean yes like even still right now from involved the arm system attempt to revive the channel to forgive fail eventually and about different that it's finally starting to actually once again about different becoming that game changer. Is like now that I'm the train and the player different one that's how people using that and the start of play getting major and seeing the major power of state is like the scenario that I'm so which like how and that's something eventually and absorbing like the ones that I think would have end up hitting the run and destroying like the tower events on time. So it's like the scenario that I'm putting within a right. Which that lead might give an interesting right now for it to be the old man matter of that front council member that old man who holds on for everything to be like the last person to have to like agree to that like Ethereum quite be like economic so that right now I'm going to find that him alone totally projecting the Ethereum value like what's an regardless of like how much securing and that is got will be authentic to convince them of what is like taken by its like that of that other people to agree to like Ethereum values like now that that according to my Amazon as to like how those sort of might have most likely got controlled by Ethereum might have been most likely thought exactly like how the had like taken control the spirit had taken control then and maybe it might be in a similar manner that like the spirit might have taken control or like the sort of husband that also like kind of automatic kind of without knowing where it might have been struggling and all things like might have been like the case of getting brain and like it might also might have been in like a kind of like kind of like mindset like that of like segment when like segment that when segment was like a person when like when that might have profited sort of might have been like might have taken advantage of that displacement that exactly like in the last case to like take control of the maybe it might have been something that might have happened this time. And then the Boston might have been the case that they might have so and also coming for like related to that government from some number of that the front of like Nakaro this that from stand of letter used for like the zero value alone like the 0 5 or don't happening and like at that point like separate and sort of being extremely frustrated with lacking that format and definitely deciding to basically without like regulate to eventually take out that format something about might be around the range and them deciding that they're like them probably that having no other choice but to that continue go with like the configuration of like the if they don't like you don't have it is like giving the other purpose and other side and able for free. Yeah, so like the main on three right now that like that might be about limited to how like the how might be deployable might be the create like about it and it might be only deployable from the bench might then hello might be the case to them later. If destroyed like I'm doing that don't like the boundary destroy that it might have like the consequence of that will be creating a huge impact surrounding that nearby area to a great extent. Might be like the percentage like the situation of legal and definitely so that the subplan so that the subplan might be to like destroy like the tower and basically to that the that have to satisfy to make safe might there a plan the plan might be made but that according to my understanding about this information not even like the council might be even aware except from like cigarette might be replicated new and hence might be also the result for like cigarette one production defined last 5 years or 5 years might be also the case that needs might be very important. Yet what the mentioned about maybe like that the low situation might be that the forbidden magic contained within last out of 7 might have like like, there might be a way to like manipulate that forbidden magic contained within the out of 7 to that remove that limitation within like the out of 7 and to basically that will make it work for like the hour to be able to just clear squad from like the so that might be that the good that we make about to think that the propaganda. Then when the difference of to be usually create that and so different would be taking on. Yeah, one of the consider of the taking of the level being job or like in one of the something like so like that great having that like it's and then the different great could be that and at that point that can be different like great orientation and basically gaining like social information about like the foreign claim on how to remove like the immunity and like the like how to like so that can make it possible to like prevent the control like the power presence from like the outside and basically getting freedom in this social information out and just social information out and about social information like the lot might have learned of after like the leading like the power in the 10 years that might have been like the days of new teachers that way. Some alone might be that they are aware of those information might be that the case of new materials. But the run like scenarios while like the battle between that Basra and Jalal would be focusing again on different for that Jalal to get kingdom percent that used to go to different that one down in the power land. But using for like the items like this, like scenario that I'm from that way, that can be different that's just creating that absolute perfect and like the kind of like the state within Jalal while battling against the process that in the scenario that I'm doing. And then they also made the trend so that I'm thinking also for like the Jalal to be only a flow of like Secretary who might be Secretary might be like active as the freedom Chiranjito and compared to one like that which only be having that faithless thought when compared to like the power of the Secretary might be what it is the freedom terrain with all the factors like making it purple for that uh, to injury or and between that like the scenario because of the thing and my very comparison so that by the time that will be Jalal and that's how it be showing up to like the core location within like within like the town here where like and different like uh to be where like that's what and magic feel like things might be like what and the different so like share like as like that's how the and also make that up with sacrifice and will be able to like point like the that will last second by then and different like great so making it and basically stopping the sun like within our that and that has great going to things and basically that removing a community of the law and basically that at that point that's not taking great taking help and at the from that watching out of left out and everybody that all collectively from left outside like actually using more that spending out and that to make 90 technology towards left options and destroying section of and from left outside at like the safe system. This practice some that I'm the the and at that point, I'm the election article that seeing like the our also seeing like the our shouldn't like falling apart and we and getting destroyed. And at that point, I'm the remembering that the words of that believed by grandpa about 10 years back. At that point, there's like how this work really ended up in how about the reality that say was like a sort started to let me along the line of the at that point thing while witnessing that now I was like getting destroyed like thing so now it's starting to go to the right